Through acceptance is how we turn our lives. And yes, today we are turning that miserable life into a happy life, a life full of pleasure. In 2011, when I lost my fiancé while pregnant for 2 weeks, first question I asked myself, what did I do to God? You should have seen my face during that time. I mean, lots of questions with no answers. For a couple of months, I was miserable and unhappy. One thing that I realized though in life, you choose to be unhappy. And how about we talk about those things that cause that miserable life? Most of these are actually things I personally have outgrown. But before being miserable, subscribe to this channel. Okay, I don't like the statement I'm making, being miserable, but first, this is what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to be miserable, and then after, of course, after realizing, after accepting, after getting to know this, then we can always change and be better people. Here is how you make yourself unhappy. Bitterness, call it resentment. Holding onto grudges and not forgiving people who wronged you. I know everyone goes through this. At 6 months, when I was pregnant for my son, still growing through a journey of being a young widow by that time, I was really hurt by people, disappointed by family and friends, and my heart was bitter. I could cry every single night, and I would say, one day God will pay them. But until one day I got to understand the word forgiveness. And trust me, most of us don't really understand what it is. Let's kind of get into it. Forgiveness is willingness to see people in the light of love rather than the action that really happened. It's also letting go of our expectations from people, but most of all, it's giving up the hope that the past could ever change, that it could ever be different, you know. And don't confuse this. Most people think forgiveness is accepting that it was okay for that thing to happen, or that someone could actually do that to you, the very thing that they did, whatever it is. No, I think this is different. It's knowing that nothing can be changed even when it happened. What happened, happened. Joyce Meyer, one of my favorite teachers of the world, states that not forgiving a person is actually like taking poison, hoping that the other person will die. But when you actually has taken the poison and you think the other person is going to die, because I think the people you are holding grudge on might not even care. And then you are wasting time being miserable. Just think about that. And I know it's easier said than done, but when you decide to forgive and focus on that, on forgiveness, oh boy, you will be able to own your emotions and whole self. Like, you'll be literally knowing where to put your energy. If you want to be unhappy, just continue being an unforgiving person. Stick on bitterness. But the day you always choose to forgive and spread love, your life will be totally different. Let's get to the next one. Surround yourself with people who drain your energy. Psychologically, it's been proven that people who are mostly fulfilled in life surround themselves with actually very supportive friends. And I think it's this year that I actually knew that I don't have very supportive friends, but then it has helped me get supportive friends. In most ways, our friends are like an investment. You know why? Because they involve deposits, and withdrawals. Why? Let me explain it in a simple way. Healthy relationships make deposits into our lives, while unhealthy or toxic ones make withdrawals. They just drain the whole of you, and by the time you get to realize, you're literally empty. Some people build us while others just tear us down. I mean, that's life. More so, I hear all the girls who say, me and that guy, we are just, you all know what I mean. But honey, talk about relationships. If you are having even a debt with somebody, they're either going to deposit or withdraw from you, period. So your prescription for misery is keep on surrounding yourself with people who actually drain you, and avoid people who fulfill you. Even to make it more miserable, get involved in those abusive relationships. Another one is be a fighter of every battle. Oh God, this year, the thing I'm so proud about is I have learned to choose my battles. I literally know who to reply and know where not to reply. You know the statement that says, sometimes peace is better than being right. Oh, I've learned that. Like, this runs into my mind all the time. Anytime you feel like fighting back in an argument or any kind of battle, it's not that you don't actually know how to defend yourself. I'm not telling you to be weak. I'm telling you to know when to get your sword out and when to just be like, nope, not this time. Reserve your peace. Get to know when to invest in your energy and when to be. Sometimes people keep on provoking you. They just don't stop. Sometimes at work, when you travel or even driving a car, as simple as that, maybe the other person on the other road is actually misbehaving, someone giving you nagging statements. If you want to be unhappy and continue to be miserable, just reply to every arrogant and cocky person. It's going to take away all your peace. And guess what? The other person might not be even concerned about your misery, as I say. Another one is have a negative self-perception. Lana Berkeley, one of my favorite YouTubers, calls it self-limiting beliefs. The less you believe in yourself, the less self-esteem you will have. Everyone on earth is capable of doing whatever they believe they can do. The difference, though, is that some have constantly kept on believing in themselves while others have just said, no, I can't do that. No, those jobs are for these and those. Now, Tony Robbins, one of my favorite life coaches, says, when you train your mind with how can I do this rather than I can't do this, it puts your mind to work. That how word, how in quotes, puts your brain to work, while I can't puts your mind to rest. That's the difference, and we're done. My friend used to tell me, there is always a way out. And I carried that with me till now. And guess what? There has always been a way. 2020 has been the hardest year, but because I know there is always a way, trust me, there has always been a way. Not forgetting a quote in Alchemist, my favorite book. When you desire something, the universe conspires. Sometimes we don't get things because we fail to believe that we deserve them. We fail to believe that we deserve these good things. And this has also been such a learning lesson to me. So there's nothing you can't do, but for people who really feel they should be miserable all their life, keep taking yourselves as minors. Another one is blame others for your problems. So I come from Uganda, where every blame literally goes to the government. At the poverty, the unemployment, the bad education, everything literally. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't really want to be political. Let's leave the Ugandan government alone. But honestly, when you decide to blame others for your problems, then it's the beginning of complaining, grumbling, and all sorts of misery. You're literally creating a miserable environment for yourself by blaming anybody. You find people blaming their partners, ex-boyfriends for their unhappiness. But sincerely speaking, the problem is not with the person who brought that condition. The problem is on you, who is dwelling onto that problem. I have used the word problem how many times? Anyway, why? Because life belongs to you. The power is in your hands to say, no, this won't hold me at all. Psychologically, again, it's proven that people who take responsibility over their lives are more likely to be happy than those who actually avoid taking responsibility. From my experience, accepting responsibility puts you in a satisfactory state where you know that you have full control over your life. I think it's just something that gives you a go-ahead with everything. There's so many points I actually wanted to give. But I'll end with this one, and then I'll let the rest come from you from the comment section. Let me know what is that thing that you stick on and it's constantly causing unhappiness to you, because we are not perfect. Even when I come to you and talk to you about these things, I'm literally still fighting some battles. But let's get to the next one. Avoid religion and spirituality. This one here is even more interesting. If you want to be unhappy, avoid religious or spiritual side of life. In fact, become more arrogant, because arrogance is the enemy of spirituality. Be sure to avoid praying, meditating, serving, or worshiping. Oh, I love worshiping. Personally, my favorite time is when I'm alone at the beach and all I'm doing is either worshiping or imagining the goodness of God. That's whoever you call him, the source. So prescription for misery is develop a disdain or disrespect for organized religion or belief. Perhaps you realize that you have already discovered some of the secrets to unhappiness. Perhaps you have even been practicing some of the principles of unhappiness in life. If you want to change what you've been doing or what you're doing, you may have already taken the first step of self-awareness. And I talk about self-awareness a lot. Once you become aware of your actions, your life can take on a dimension of greater intentionality. Intention. I love talking about it. As you make your choices in a more conscious manner, it's important to be conscious all the time. If you would like to change how life or how things are turning out in your life, then perhaps it's time to start putting something different into your life. Remember, how you were living each day is how you are living your life. And for me, that is one thing that makes me live my life every day in just a different way of life. And it has put me in a position of not even caring what people say, but being in a place where what makes me happy is what I do. So how about you adopt that and then you stop being unhappy? Thanks for watching. This is Magma Treasures, finding the genius within. Remember to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to be a good person.